Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this Tuesday. How's your apple scab?
It's a rough year in the garden. We're talking about gardening, by the way, gardening. Lisa Briggs is going to join us live from the Bruce Company in just a little while. She'll be taking your calls and questions between the beetles and the apple scab and the rust.
Yeah.
It's been a rough season so far.
So we'll get all those problems taken care of for you. But first, here's what's making news this Tuesday. The Trump administration wants to spend $12 billion to help out farmers hurt by its own tariff policies.
Two members of the Trump cabinet visit a small school in Adams County, praising its approach to mental health issues.
And UW football coach Paul Chryst tells Big Ten sports writers he has high hopes this season for his team. Jay Wilson will have that a little later in this Colorcast.
Big Ten Media Day in Chicago.
Absolutely.
Football is almost here.
It's in the air.
Let's take a look outside today. It's a great summer day outside. Another sunny and warm one.
Get around some worms out there. See if you can catch anything just right for July. The weather words. And Chris Reese is in the backyard. Picture perfect.
That's right. It feels fantastic. I'm not even sure I want to think about football weather just yet. Let's take in the moment and know that even as we go further beyond this week, it's going to feel absolutely fantastic. High temperatures today made it all the way to 84 degrees. We've cooled down just a little bit since then by about 1 degree. Other places were all just about into the low and mid 80s for those highs this afternoon, 3 degrees above where we should be. So today was a slightly above average day. We're going to see more average days and below average days going through the rest of our forecast. 83 degrees the temperatures right now, and the dew point has come down a little bit. We're sitting at a dew point of 60, so it's less muggy than we were right around that noon time hour. Upper 70s out west towards Viroqua, Decorah, Illinois at 79 degrees right now. No rain to worry about, so we are going to have a spectacular and sunny afternoon. The thing is, by this time tomorrow, we could be talking a little bit of a different story. Some of those rain chances do come back into the forecast. I'll iron those out in a bit. Traffic continues to run smoothly as of now, but it is 4 o'clock, so we'll start to see some of those backups coming back into the picture before too long. Right now, no major issues or delays are really beginning to show up just yet, other than the brake lights that we are seeing on the Beltline and the brake lights that we are starting to see as you leave downtown. So be prepared for that and know that that will get worse as we go through the next minutes here, headed towards about 4:45. But as of now, if you are getting towards the Beltline, so far things are moving at their major speeds and the main rush hour directions. Guys?
On the roads.
Yes, these are summer days to savor, too.
Absolutely. All right, Chris, thank you. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Thank you, Chris. First at 4, the Trump administration is throwing U.S. farmers and ranchers who are caught up in a growing trade dispute a lifeline.
The aid comes as the president threatens higher tariffs on any country that deals unfairly with the U.S. Mo Olengi has the latest from the White House.
The U.S. Agriculture Department is providing $12 billion in emergency assistance to farmers hard hit by retaliatory tariffs.
Unfortunately, America's hardworking agricultural producers have been treated fairly by illegal trading practices by China and other nations for a while.
U.S. farmers are struggling after China imposed high tariffs on soybeans and pork in response to the Trump administration's tariffs on $34 billion in Chinese goods. The short-term aid plan will provide direct payments to producers of corn, cotton, dairy, soy, and sorghum. The government will also buy surplus products such as nuts, fruits, rice, dairy, pork, chicken, and beef, and distribute the goods to food banks and government assistance programs. The USDA will also launch a program to promote trade to new markets. President Trump touted his tough trade agenda at the VFW National Convention in Kansas City as the assistance program was being announced.
And the farmers will be the biggest beneficiary. Watch. We're opening up markets. You watch what's going to happen.
Earlier in the day, the president tweeted, "Tariffs are the greatest," saying other countries must negotiate fair trade deals with the U.S. or they'll get hit with tariffs. Some Republican senators disagree with the president's approach.
Tariffs are not great, but the fact of the matter is trying to find a way to better position American workers for the future is a laudable goal.
Where we ought to go is to a zero tariff world.
The aid for farmers does not require congressional approval. Mo Olengi, CBS News, the White House.
And Republicans U.S. Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin is not happy about the plan, mincing no words when he said, quote, "This is becoming more and more like a Soviet type of economy." He went on to explain that it's like commissaires deciding how they are going to sprinkle around benefits. Both Johnson and Democratic Senator Tammy Baldwin have sent letters to Trump over the past week criticizing how his tariffs are hurting Wisconsin businesses and farmers. And talk of those tariffs and help for farmers was a focus of conversation at the Rock County 4-H Fair.
The fair opened today for the 89th consecutive year. Rock County reporter Adam Duxter was there and joins us in our bureau at the Janesville Gazette with what farmers are saying about the tariffs. Adam?
Guys, the Rock County 4-H Fair has been a symbol of agriculture in Wisconsin for almost 90 years now, but today the talk was about the tariffs and what farming could look like these farmers in the future. Now, tariffs on products like soy, dairy, and pork have left farmers making less money, while the Trump administration says the $12 billion in aid would go towards helping farmers caught in the middle. One farmer talked to today said he's still unsure about all that.
As farmers, you know, it's great that there's that plan to help us, but we'd rather get paid for our product than to, you know, have that government assistance.
Reebout was recently in Washington, D.C., lobbying with Wisconsin Senators and Speaker Ryan for tariff reform. Later on at 5, we'll hear more from the farmers at the Rock County 4-H Fair today and more of what they think about these tariffs.
All right, Adam Duxter reporting live from our bureau at the Janesville Gazette. Thank you, Adam.
The Los Angeles police chief faced the camera today to offer condolences for a tragic mistake over the weekend. The LAPD released body cam video of a gun battle that terrorized a Trader Joe's supermarket. Police Chief Michael Moore said the video helps to frame a deadly mistake, that a store worker who was caught in the crossfire was hit by an officer's bullet.
I'm sorry to report that we've now determined through our forensic investigation that one of the officer's rounds struck Ms. Kurata as she was exiting the market.
Police had been pursuing 28-year-old Gene Atkins as a suspect in the shooting of his grandmother and a teenage girl. They say he fired at officers after crashing his car at Trader Joe's, where he took dozens hostage. 27-year-old Melita Corrado was hit by a bullet that traveled through her arm to her body. Chief Moore called it a devastating ordeal for the police officers as well.
The wildfire season is taking a huge toll on beach communities in Greece. At least 2 large fires have killed 74 people. Gale force winds fueled several large wildfires that are raging across the seaside towns near Athens. Some people swam out to sea to escape the flames to be rescued by fishing boats. In a heartbreaking discovery, Red Cross workers found more than 24 bodies huddled together, hugging each other.
A heat wave is gripping much of the western part of the country with days of record-breaking temperatures on the way. Excessive heat warnings are in place through California, Arizona, and Nevada. The National Weather Service expects record-breaking temperatures in parts of Southern California through tomorrow. And with air conditioning running overtime, the group overseeing California's power grid is asking customers to conserve electricity to avoid rolling blackouts.
If we can get people to help us just a little bit, then collectively we can save 500 megawatts, which is something like 5 million homes.
Summer football practice pushed on in Phoenix for these athletes, even as the city set a new record high, a sweltering 115 degrees. The state has new rules in place now to keep student athletes safe during practice in the heat. The heat wave out west isn't expected to break until late Thursday. National leaders are taking notice of a Wisconsin school's unique approach to mental health. U.S.
Secretary of Education Betsy DeVos and Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar toured Adams Friendship Middle School today, and Rose Schmidt is in the news center to tell us what this school district is doing differently. Rose?
Hi, Mark and Susan. In 2014, Adams Friendship became one of 3 schools in Wisconsin to receive a federal Project Aware grant, which is funded through 2019. The grant aims to identify warning signs of mental health problems among children and connect those students with the services that they need. At a roundtable event today, the Federal Commission on School Safety heard from community members, school officials, parents, and students about why their approach to tackling mental health is working. Adams Friendship is only the 2nd school in the country that commissioners have toured. Secretary DeVos says commissioners want to learn how to help improve school climates and cut down on school violence.
The Federal Commission on School Safety was established by President Trump in the wake of the tragedy at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. No student, no parent, no teacher should ever have to worry about their safety while at school. But distressingly, too many do.
District officials say their approach is a culmination and variety of different services. They bring mental health professionals to students while they're at school so they can receive counseling in a setting where they're comfortable. Secretary Azar says national leaders know many children struggle with mental health issues every day, and schools are on the front line of tackling those issues. He says the commission is hoping to implement models from Adams Friendship in other school districts around the nation.
Very cool up there. All right, Rose, thank you very much. There's more to come at 4. Before you pack your bags for your summer vacation, make sure you have the best bags.
When we come back, Consumer Reports rates the best and worst luggage. We'll have that story when Live at 4 continues.
Welcome back. Each July, Big Ten football coaches, players, and news reporters gather in Chicago.
They talk about the upcoming season and how well they think the teams will do. Sports Director Jay Wilson is with us today with what is being said this year about our Badgers. Hello, Jay.
Hi, I didn't have to go to Chicago this year.
There you go. There's a plus.
The traffic was great coming in. If you're expecting a lot of big news items out of Big Ten football media days, you're going to have a long wait, but that's not the point. A lot of people get really excited about the college football season, especially if your team is good, and the Wisconsin Badgers should be very, very good this season. With almost all of its offense back from last year and some key players back on defense too, some are suggesting the Badgers will be in the hunt to be one of the 4 teams in the college football playoff. Head coach Paul Chryst has dealt with that talk before and is ready to do it again this season.
Our team, we have high expectations, and that bar has been set because of those that have come before. And some of them are on our team now, of what they've done. And yet each year it's a new opportunity. And that's what's fun about it. There's a lot of storylines, but nothing's happened yet. You have to go out and earn it. And that's why the season is fun. That's why I said earlier, it's a journey, and you want to enjoy that journey.
The Badgers will start fall camp the first week in August. They'll have their first game Friday, August 31st against Western Kentucky at Camp Randall. Their Big Ten schedule does have some challenges this year with road games at Iowa, Michigan, Northwestern, and Penn State, but they are favored to win the Big Ten West, and they are prepared for whatever is ahead. And that's really one of the strengths of Paul Chryst's team is that, all this stuff buzzing around them, they still focus on what the job is at hand.
Build on last season, as he said, and they had a good season last year.
Oh, they were 13-1, and if they beat Ohio State in the Big Ten championship, they're in that college football playoff. And with so much of the offense back, only Troy Fumagalli, the tight end, is gone from last year. That offense could be as good as it's ever been at Wisconsin. Although the 2011 Russell Wilson year, that's kind of in its own category. But if they can find answers on defense, they'll be as good as anybody in the conference and maybe even in the country.
All right, but some challenging games, as you say.
No question. You go on the road to Michigan and Penn State. There's 90,000 people, and every time Penn State gets a first down, they have this Nittany Lion roar over the. You get so sick of it because if they get 35 first downs, they're probably winning the game. And wow, every time there's a first down. So
it's those little things.
Yes, exactly.
Keep that Nittany Lion quiet is the key to that game.
All right, looking forward to a great season. Thank you, Jay.
Thank you, Jay.
Well, Kimberly-Clark Corporation says it's open to negotiating with state incentives to save at least 2 of its facilities from closure in Wisconsin. Kimberly-Clark's position on the Cold Springs facility near Menasha follows a new labor agreement ratified Monday night by United Steelworkers. The president of the local union says the new agreement provides Kimberly-Clark with concessions aimed at keeping that plant in operation. The company announced earlier this year that it was going to close the Cold Springs and Neenah factories, eliminating 610 jobs. Kimberly-Clark said with the new union agreement, it's open to negotiating incentives with the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation. On Wall Street, stocks closed mostly higher on strong earnings reports. The Dow Industrials gained 197 points, closing at 25,241. The NASDAQ Composite Index fell a point. The S&P 500 was up 13. Well, if you're taking a trip this summer, you're going to need the right luggage.
A recent survey by Consumer Reports showed that wheelability, durability, and weight are the most important luggage attributes. But what kind of luggage is best?
The choices generally come down to hard-sided or soft-sided. Leah Lynchide and Consumer Reports are here to help you find out what's best for you.
Luggage has come a long way in recent years.
The roller that rolls all the way around is so much easier.
Enough space.
Zippers, so they don't break.
Nowadays, your biggest decision when buying luggage, should you get soft-sided or hard? Well, thanks to modern plastics, hard-sided luggage can be durable and light. Aluminum luggage is likely the most durable, but a little bit heavier. Their strong construction makes it hard to slit through, and locks are usually built in.
They are also a good option for traveling with fragile items, which can crush more easily.
And you're guaranteed a no-bulge fit in the overhead bin, as long as you buy the right size. There are some drawbacks, taking up twice the space of soft suitcases when packing and also lacking flexibility. Soft-sided luggage, on the other hand, is more flexible, works well in cars, and can compress into overhead bins. Extra pockets may mean more organized packing, too.
But soft suitcases can be vulnerable when it comes to security and ripping, so buy ones made of strong materials.
Like nylon or polyester with a higher denier, or D rating, an indicator of thickness and strength. 600 is a common number. The higher that number, the more wear and tear it can take. Even the right luggage won't make travel totally stress-free, but it can help take the edge off. For WISC News 3, I'm Leah Lynchide.
And Consumer Reports says pay
Cue the
attention
prop.
to those wheels. Suitcases with 4 wheels can spin in different directions. 2-wheeled suitcases only go backwards and forwards, but are better when rolling on sidewalks or uneven surfaces.
I love this bag because of the color. My suitcase is black, and I want to get one that is much easier to spot when you.
Well, you know what a lot of people do with the black? They put like a scarf on it or something.
Yeah, I do that too to try to distinguish it a little bit, but that one would be hard to miss. That's a great
I like
one.
little spinner deals.
Yes.
All right.
All the big questions, wheelability, durability, we've got it all covered.
Suitcases like this.
Yeah.
Still to come at 4, it's called the Packer Experience, and if you're a fan, it's a must.
That's for sure. We'll head to Green Bay to see what the Packers Experience is all about. That's coming up after Chris's First Alert forecast.
Well, take a look at this. You can see Kevin Perry recording himself in the mirror. Suddenly, the shot pulls back for a mind-blowing illusion. Here's how he pulled it off. His wife has a camera on a stick that's balanced on top of his phone. She moves with him and then pulls back for the cool visual effect. So why can't you see her or her camera? Well, in the editing room, Kevin individually paints out 400 frames of the video to make his wife and camera disappear for the finished illusion.
Editing is magic.
We'll fix it in post. We say around here. It's Tuesday, July 24th. It's Cousin's Day, so say it to your cousin.
Very nice. It is also National Tequila Day. Of course, we've got video, not props. The popular drink. Oh, we might have props? Oh.
This is why the show's going so well today.
All right.
That is our director, Nicole, and our producer, Steve. Now, all
and half a bottle of tequila.
All things make sense.
We're not drinking
video. All right. Here you go.
The popular drink, that was great, you guys. Jokingly named by some Tequila, comes from the blue agave plant. Its name comes from the town of Tequila, which is located in a valley near Guadalajara, Mexico.
I didn't know that.
Popular drinks with tequila, of course, include the margarita and the tequila sunrise.
Or right out of the bottle in the case of our control room.
Tequila's good.
It is good.
You can make yourself a nice little treat there.
It's also Tell an Old Joke Day. It's not me.
Okay, I've got one for you. Why did the cookie go to the hospital?
I don't know why.
Because it felt crummy. Thank you very much.
All right.
Why did the cow cross the road? To get to the other side.
Ah, very good.
Oh my goodness, so many good jokes, so many good jokes. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna steal one. Let's see which one do I want to steal.
Let's see.
Here's one. All right, here we go. What do you call a parade of rabbits hopping backwards? A receding hairline. Yeah, LeBron James would know about that one.
And you just had your weather camp for the kids down in Kentucky.
Yeah, so I was at weather camp, and we always tell jokes at weather camp. That's just kind of how we do it there. But one kid told a joke, it was a good one, and essentially it was your mama's so poor.
How poor is she?
That a tornado hit her house and did $10,000 worth of improvement. So,
there you go. That was a good joke.
I was laughing hysterically after that one. I had to get myself back together. But let's go ahead and let you all know that I'm not too worried about any tornadoes tomorrow.
That's good news.
But we will have a chance of some strong to severe thunderstorms. I'll break down your first alert forecast when we come back. And it's been a weather day that is just right for July. Yes, we've had those warm temperatures and some humidity out there, but really, it hasn't been all that bad. Beautiful skies, 83 degrees the temperature right now. Winds are out of the west-northwest at about 8 miles per hour. Dew points have come down since lunchtime, so they are now into the lower 60s. That means it's no longer feeling as humid out there as it has at times today. 84 the temperature in Janesville, same for Watertown. Juneau coming in at 79 degrees as of now. Those dew points, though, that's where you start to get that little bit of mugginess into the air, and that's come down. So like I said, the dew point at 60 for us, 57 in Monroe. Back to the north and west, check out Black River Falls with the dew point at 50. That is air that feels pretty good. With the northwesterly wind, we'll get some of that into town eventually, but it's going to take a minute to gradually work its way on in here. There's a cold front coming through tomorrow. That's when you'll really begin to feel the difference in that air moisture content out there. No showers or thunderstorms back to the west. We have seen some showers, mainly east over parts of Michigan and the UP of Michigan as well, out towards Door County. But here's the thing, is that region of low pressure responsible for all this cloud cover moves away. It will lead to another cold front that is moving in, bringing increasing chances for some showers and thunderstorms. Those decorator clouds we've seen today, you can actually see those on Visible Cloud Track. Once you get the peak heating of the sunshine, those just kind of pop up and work their way on to the south and east. I'll go ahead and zoom out and show you guys most of the cloud cover, of course, beyond us. Sunshine back to the north and west for now. But this dome of high pressure will work its way to the south and east, eventually allowing for a cold front to move in from the north and west. As that cold front gradually moves in, we'll notice shower chances increasing tomorrow. We'll also notice those clouds thickening up tomorrow. Those will linger as we get you to Thursday as well. Let's go ahead and take you hour by hour, though, with how your Wednesday will shape up. Yes, there's a rain chance tomorrow. Don't cancel any plans. It's not going to be a washout of a Wednesday. By lunchtime, we'll see those temperatures into the upper 70s. We'll top out into the low 80s. Clouds thickening up into the afternoon before those rain and shower chances begin to move in. A lot of that will come through overnight and into your Thursday. The thing is, we'll have to watch for some of those showers and thunderstorms to potentially be on the severe side. In fact, the Storm Prediction Center has just about all of us into a marginal risk of severe weather. That is a level 1 out of 5. The slight risk further back towards the west across southern Minnesota and portions of central and northwestern Iowa. But here's the thing. This is what a marginal risk means. Some of us will get in on that threat for severe thunderstorms, but others of us may just see rain or some light showers. But here how the best threats begin to shape up for us. All of us will see scattered showers and thunderstorms. All of us will pretty much see locally heavy rain, but that 60-mile-an-hour plus wind gust threat, that'll be early on, as will the hail threat. That will be early on, and not everyone sees those strong wind gusts or the hail, but the potential will be there. We'll want to make sure that we are paying attention of that as we go into your Wednesday night and Thursday. The rain totals that come out of this won't be overly impressive widespread, but some of us will get in on some pretty heavy rain totals if we get under one of those thunderstorms that just rains a ton. So be on the lookout for that as we go tomorrow night and into your Thursday. All of us cool down. By Thursday, 73 is as warm as it gets. 75 by Friday, 77 on Saturday. But we're going to stay pretty much in the 70s, not just through the weekend, but through the next several days before warming things back up there again on day 10. For tonight, we'll be mostly clear with the low right around 62 degrees. Into tomorrow, 82 degrees warm and humid with those late day showers and thunderstorms coming into the picture. But folks, the next 7 days looks fantastic. I cannot wait to get outside and enjoy that perfect weather. So I hope you guys will have the opportunity to do so as well before we do warm things up on day 9 at the end of the week. But of course, I mean, come on.
Yeah,
for this time
nice
of the year,
stretch.
this is a beautiful forecast.
Yeah.
Upper 50s at night, 70s, lower mid 70s during the day.
I hope I'm not dreaming. Someone pinch me. This sounds fantastic.
It does,
Yeah.
especially for this time of year. As
Oh,
you said.
yes.
It could be a lot worse.
Yes, it could.
All right, Chris, thank you.
Thank you, Chris. The Railbirds are flocking back to Green Bay with the start of Packers training camp on Thursday.
But as Chris Schuler reports, fans can expect many new and different things in the Packers' 100th season.
Outside of Lambeau Field, work is underway to create an experience for fans like they've never seen before. The Packers Experience, a festival of activities similar to the NFL Experience held during the Super Bowl.
There you go. This is really what you see at the Super Bowl or at the draft. Skills challenge, there's a lot of photo opportunities. We'll have locker room. We have a theater that is showing part of our documentary.
A piece of Packers training camp that Gene and Suzette Goff drove over 1,000 miles from Pennsylvania to be part of.
This has been his dream. All his life, he's wanted to come to Green Bay. He wanted to see the stadium. He wanted to see the training camp. He wanted all that.
Go, Pack, go! Go, Pack, go! Come Thursday, the team's 2018 training camp gets underway, and some 100,000 football fans are expected to pay a visit during camp, and businesses like Hinterland are ready to welcome them in.
The Titletown Plaza right here, the park and everything, it's a great attraction for families and all kinds of people coming through on a daily basis.
This Packers training camp, there are going to be 14 public practices to be held here at Reinitschke Field. But if you want a seat, you better get here early.
You get all the excitement because you find out who all the new players are going to be, so you want to see them in action.
And while training camp continues for 4 weeks, the Packers Experience lasts just 4 days, starting Thursday. A free fan festival in the Lambeau Field parking lot that the Packers hope you'll visit.
It's like kicking off that 100 seasons, and that's really what we're trying to do this in a big way. I mean, we're the first NFL team that's turning 100, so we want to just do it the right way.
Reporting in Green Bay, Chris Schuler for WISC News 3.
Oh, that's exciting.
It's fun to take that in.
I love the couple that scratched it off their bucket list.
1,000 miles they traveled.
That's terrific.
Dream come true. Well, we're taking your plant and garden questions next year on Live at 4.
Lisa Briggs is standing by at the Bruce Company. The number to call is 270-9933. Lisa will take your calls when we come back. beautiful shot.
It really is.
On a Tuesday afternoon, that's a live look over Lake Mendota. I love that sparkle on the water.
So
Great
should be
day
out on the
today.
boat today.
That's right. It has been a very challenging season in the gardens so far this year.
Mildew, rust, and apple scab have been big problems. Lisa Briggs joining us from the Bruce Company to take your calls, 270-9933. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
Hello.
So mildew, rust, apple scab, what's going on?
Fungus is among us this year. Mostly because of these beautiful days that we've been having that we're so enjoying. Fungus likes that too. So I thought today we'd talk about a couple of my personal favorite fungus diseases. So the first one we're going to talk about, this is powdery mildew. When you see this sort of gray kind of sheen on your plants. And powdery mildew goes on a lot of things. Roses, lilacs, this is phlox, some vegetables, nine bark. And so you'll see this a lot, and you'll need to treat it with a fungicide, and we'll talk about that after I show you my other favorite, which is rust. And this is rust. When you see leaf spot diseases on things, the whole leaf will kind of turn yellow, and there'll be some spots, and it'll fall off. Rust is a little bit different. So it starts off with these sort of yellow spots on the leaves. You can see right here.
Yep.
But then if you turn the leaf underneath and look at the other side, it gets sort of swollen, and then you get this sort of furry fingers. And that's what pops the spores out into the air. Now, fungus likes warm weather, and it likes wet weather, which we've been having, and so you're really going to want to treat them. And there are a number of classes of fungicides. So the first one we have is, this is Daconil. This is just a chemical fungicide. It's topical. You spray it on the plant, and then you probably have to reapply it as long as the conditions stay the way they are. We also like Serenade. This is a biologic fungicide, so it's a little organic, if that's something that you're concerned about. And then this is Infuse. And Infuse is a little bit of a systemic fungicide, so it's longer lasting. You won't have to reapply it as often.
Oh, hey, Lisa, what does apple scab look like? Do you have an example
Apple scab, yeah, I do. This is apple scab. So you see the leaf turns all yellow and the spots are black, as opposed to the rust where the spot is orange and the leaf stays green. And that's how you can tell the difference. Apple scab will defoliate a tree really quickly. The leaves will just fall off.
It's hard to spray a whole tree.
It's not a long-term thing. It is. You need to get something with a hose end sprayer, or an applicator that's got a little more pressure in it to get a bigger tree.
All right.
There are things that you can do to improve it too. So like, not watering with a hose and improving air circulation. Those things will help.
All right, we're going to get to some of our viewers' questions at 270-9933. Talk to Lisa Briggs right after the break.
It's now time for a look at your First Alert traffic. Here's a live look for the Beltline at Verona Road. And oddly enough, traffic is moving along quite smoothly there at that interchange. But just moments ago, checking out the traffic map, there was indeed an accident at the Beltline and Verona Road, especially if you are headed eastbound. Do be prepared for slowdowns in that area. Once you get beyond that, the traffic only moving about 16 to 13 miles per hour in a lot of slots or a lot of spots. So that afternoon rush hour is starting to pick up the pace in terms of traffic volume and those slowdowns. Madison mainly the only slowdown across Dane County. Elsewhere across Dane County, especially on the interstate, you do have your typical construction zones, but the traffic is moving smoothly through them. Westbound John Nolan to Verona Road, that's taking you about 9 minutes. Eastbound University to the interstate, take you about 26 minutes as of now. Eastbound Verona Road to John Nolan also taking you about 11 minutes. Traffic moving at about 23 miles per hour. Guys?
All right, Chris, thank you. More than 150 snails slugged it out at the annual World Snail Racing Championship in the UK over the weekend. The event has been running since the 1960s. The gastropod games are held on top of a table which has a special damp cloth spread on it. The cloth has 3 circles marked on it. The snails are placed around the middle rim, and the first one to reach the outer circle is deemed the winner. A snail called Hosta was the eventual winner, so-called because his owner picked it from her garden the same morning. Among her hosta plants, the win saved hosta from an early demise, apparently. So,
speaking of plants, we're continuing to take your calls for Lisa Briggs at the Bruce Company. At Mary in Verona, thanks for your patience. Thanks for waiting. What's your question? Hi, Mary, are you there? Can Mary hear us?
Yep, we're on that line.
Beetles.
There you go.
Hi,
Okay.
I have a two-part question. The product 7 that I use for my Japanese beetles, wondering if that ever expires or goes bad.
All of those chemicals do have an expiration date. The thing to look for, though, is to make sure that you don't store them in the winter, like in an outdoor shed or in your garage. Once they freeze, then they are not as powerful. They don't have the same strength as they would if you had stored them like in your basement or something like that. I like 8 better for Japanese beetles than 7. We did a test a few years ago. It works a little bit faster. So when you run out of your 7, pick up some 8. Spelled just like the number.
Can you use that on food plants?
7 you cannot, but 8 you can.
All right, and that's...
So it's a little bit easier to use. You don't have to worry so much. And it's not just about the food we eat, but the food that animals eat, too.
Mary, what's the second part of your question?
Nope, Mary's
oh,
gone.
she's gone? Oh,
Yeah.
she had a 2-part question,
Yeah.
I think.
All
Oh,
right.
sorry about that.
Let's go to Jim in Wanakee. Hi, Jim.
Hi. Yeah, I got a big old maple in my front yard. I'm getting black spots all over the leaves.
You've got tar spot, Jim, and it's a fungus. It's a cosmetic mostly. If your tree's really big, there's no point in treating it, but what you do want to do is this fall, do a really good cleanup, rake all those leaves up, put them in a plastic bag, and throw them away. Don't put them in your compost.
So that's So that's another thing we're dealing with. Tar, what is it?
Yes.
Yeah, I've never seen this
'cause it
before. I
looks
was
like
just wondering where it came
drops
from.
of tar. Yeah, it's a fungus.
Okay, it's just spores in the air.
Spores are in the air.
Fungus among
Just
us.
like love.
Not the good kind. All right. Let's go to Kathy in Deerfield. Hi, Kathy.
Oh, hi. We moved here about 3 years ago, and there was an established grove of aronia berry bushes.
Okay.
And they've had plenty of berries the first couple of years, and this year there is not one single berry on the bushes. And there's probably 20 bushes there.
Did you prune them at all?
No.
Okay. Aronia are an early blooming plant, so you have to be careful if you're going to do any pruning. Those early flowering, fruiting crops, you want to prune them right after they're done flowering, and otherwise you're removing all your flowers, so you're removing your fruit. I wonder, though, if we had those late frosts, some fruiting plants flowered early because we had the nice weather in early April, and then we had that snow, and I'm wondering if your flowers just froze, so that might be it.
All right.
Okay, that's kind of what I was thinking.
All right, better,
All right.
better luck next year.
Yeah,
I
thank you.
guess.
Thank you for calling. Let's go to Darlene in Black Earth. Hi, Darlene. What's your question?
I have a hardy hibiscus, and it's in a pot. Do I need to bring it in for the winter, or can it stay outside?
The hardy hibiscus are hardy outside. There are two types. There's the woody bushy one called Rose of Sharon, and then there's the one with the great big flowers like Lady Baltimore or Cranberry Crush. That dies back to the ground like a perennial. So you're going to want to get it in the ground. It's not going to be happy indoors.
All right, let's go to Deb in Livingston. Hi, Deb. What's your question?
Hi. I have a large ash tree in my front yard that has a fungus, and I want to know how to treat it. It's been there for a couple years now.
What is the fungus doing?
The fungus
What
is
does it look like?
It's turning the leaves brown, and it's like eating the leaf.
Okay, so there are a couple things that are going on with ash. Of course, there's the emerald ash borer, which is kind of in the county and all over, and it just makes the leaves sort of turn brown, almost like they're drying up. So it might be that, and if you have that, the tree's a goner. The other thing that we're seeing on ash trees is ash yellows, where the foliage will stay yellow and the tree just kind of, the canopy slowly thins, and that's a viral issue. So, you know, a lot of people are getting rid of their ash. They're taking them down and planting them with other things. I think that we're going to see sort of the decline of ash trees as yard trees and as street trees.
Yeah, it is kind of sad. All right.
Yeah, it is.
Lots of fungus and mold and all that stuff to do with this summer, but we'll get through it. Thanks, everyone, for calling in.
Yeah, great calls today. And Lisa, thanks so much. We'll see you next time.
You're very welcome. Bye.
We'll have a final check of your forecast coming up. Nice evening to get outside.
Yes, it is. Still a beautiful evening out there as well. The temperature 83 degrees if you want to hit the water. I mean, today is a good day to do it. Now, this evening, our temperatures will fall into the upper 60s with a few clouds. Overnight lows will fall to right around 62 degrees. Now, coming up at 5, Dave's going to have the latest forecast. And if it's right, we could see the first stretch of 70s for a full week since mid-May. So
August. Unusual.
Yes, it is. So
All right,
Dave will
Chris.
have those updates coming up.
All right, great. Coming up tomorrow here on Live at 4, we go behind the wheel with Harvey Briggs.
We're going to check out the all-new, all-electric Nissan Leaf. That's a nice-looking car.
Yeah.
That's coming up tomorrow on Live at 4.